look, thanks again for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate it. First things first, simple as this. How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. I got brand new tires on my car today.
Expensive.
Yeah, I only got two of them, the front two, and it was $400.
Oh man, a luxury, man. It really is. Overall, then, so far, bear in mind we're 4 months in, and of course, we do have something very important coming up tomorrow. But overall, has the last 4 months meant that 2023 has been pretty fruitful for Through Fire in general?
Yeah, I mean, we've been recording some videos and putting out some music videos, and we went on a short little tour. About to go on another. We've had some good airplay at radio and starting to climb the charts and stuff. So that's all good and fun. And
It's great to
yeah,
hear.
just getting ready for the road.
And of course, we are less than a day as of the time recording from the release of Devil's Got Your Dream. And your brand new album, it's out on the 21st of April via Sumerian Records. This close, where's your head at with it right now? You still feeling stoked, excited for it, just desperately get that out?
Yeah, I'm super, super excited for everyone to be able to hear all the songs. We've been sitting on them for a little while and anxious to let people hear them and see what they think and get all their feedback and hear their favorite songs and see what they think of our growth and where we're at, and
How have you
give all the fans something new to listen to.
Oh yeah, but what with the feedback on the singles so far, from your perspective, and the very positive response that's come about through those songs, has that helped relax your mind overall regarding how the full thing might be received?
I mean, I really don't worry about it. Like, if they're gonna like it or not like it. I expect people to like it though, and and the ones that don't, that's fine. That's part of the game. But no, they've loved it so far. I feel like people are liking the direction and the sound, and I feel like personally, you know, because Sumerian Records is a metal label mostly,
Yeah.
and a lot of their fans that look at our videos and stuff, to them, we're not super heavy or what they're necessarily used to digesting. So we're radio rock to them, but to our fans, you know, it's awesome. So it's interesting to watch their comments and stuff like that. And most of the time where they think they're posting up hater comments, but really they're compliments, and they don't realize it. Like, they'll say, "Oh, this sounds like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, or Papa Roach Had a Baby," and we're like, "Sweet, those are some of our favorite bands, so that's cool."
Very successful bands
or they'll
too.
Say, he came out like, "Oh, this sounds just like 3 Days Grace. Why are they trying to sound like 3 Days Grace?" They don't know we actually co-wrote that song with the drummer from 3 Days Grace.
Nice.
So funny stuff like that. I actually get a kick out of it, and it's a total compliment, whether it was meant that way or not. But all that said, I'm excited for people to hear the rest of the album, because I think if they're liking this, there's some stuff that has a little bit more edge to it, a little bit more you know, less radio structure to it, a little more out there, kind of still in our lane, but a little heavier vibe on some songs. So I'm excited for people to hear that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think of it like a couple of tracks, as you say, with a bit more bite to them.
Yeah, like we've put out kind of, you know, what people would more expect from us so far, but there's some stuff on there that is a little more dynamic and just like a little heavier. So I'm excited for them to get a hold of that, and I feel like people are going to be shocked.
Well, take me back then to the initial vision that you had for Devil's Got Your Dream. And what did it look like? Did you have one? And was it clear what you wanted to achieve with this album?
Definitely wanted to put something out that would kind of speak to the times because of what the world's been going through and all the whole pandemic and all the riots and all that junk. So we wanted to kind of speak to the times, be relevant, let some of that motivate and fuel the direction, and also be an escape for people, you know, in that regard, and ourselves included. Also, just going through like big life changes, like for instance, myself, 11-year relationship came to an end right before we hit the studio. So it was the first time getting to kind of go in there and just like, you know, use music as a actual therapy, like you hear a lot of people say, but I feel like I've grown a lot as a singer. So like first album was one idea, second album I was learning new techniques and applying that, and kind of changed my style a little bit. And then here on the third album, I feel like I married the best of the two worlds, like the range with the rasp, and able to use like the chest voice comfortably and certain spots, all that technical stuff, just kind of rounding out and getting back to my roots as a singer, but with like a new developed technical ability that came from a lot of practice and stuff like that. So I just feel like overall we found more who we are, overall sound on this album. Little heavier guitars, a little heavier on the vocals, all kinds of stuff.
Is it a fair summation to call Devil's Got You Dreaming the culmination of everything that Through Fire is today, the encapsulation of who and what you are based upon, as you say, all the developments and the leading up and the situations, scenarios that have got you to album number 3?
Yeah, it's definitely who we are right now. And obviously we want to continue to grow and
Of course.
and build on what we've started. This is definitely taken off in a direction of like we've discovered who we are as a band, even though that might sound weird to people because they think maybe that we sounded like we had our sound the whole time. But for me personally, I've certainly developed as an artist and as a singer. So, and I'm sure, you know, Justin, he's always trying to get better. So,
well, yeah, you're always
we're just
developing as a musician.
We're excited about the album. We're excited about the label and the things going on with the label too. Like it feels like everything's kind of fallen into place a little more than it has in the past, where things felt like it took a little more effort, or we would try to put out a single but wouldn't have a video ready, or put out a single and not have a tour ready. Now we've got the video ready, the single ready, the tour ready. Everything's happening at the same time like it should. So things seem to be moving in a real solid direction.
It does. It does. Even from an outside perspective, you can tell the momentum is there. It feels energized. It feels exciting. And, you know, I haven't heard this record and I haven't reviewed it. I have no doubt that this is going to not just land with your listener base, but land in the wider world quite heavily and get those who perhaps haven't heard you up to this point going to grab their attention too. And that is the really exciting thing for me.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's always that feeling of like with so far with each album, it's almost like it kind of has the vibe of the first album. Like we're going out there to prove ourselves or something, like for the first time, like even though we've got a little, but it's just the difference is now we have some clout. We got a little history, and like once you just if you discover us now, you can look back and say, oh gosh, these guys have been around for a little while. They've got some videos and some views and stuff, instead of coming out like who are they? But it's still who are they to the newest listener. so yeah, we're definitely out there to grab new ears for sure, and to give the people that know us something new. And yeah, excited to be out there at radio again. And it's cool. It just feels good to know that we're building on something, that there is a little history already now.
So, kind of tying into what you were talking about as growth of a musician, I think your passion and honesty are perhaps a major reason as to why so many people connect with Through Fire. To be able to express that clearly is one of the most difficult tasks for an artist, yet you do manage it. So I have to ask you, has it always been easy for you to do this? And what makes you want to open up as you do?
Transparency, honesty, those are like huge things for me. That's like a lifestyle. That's just how I live. And if we sit one-on-one right here in this bar, I would tell you just straight from the heart pretty much everything I'm thinking, feeling, what I went through. I feel like that's what makes the whole experience of music and all be really cool, just because there's no reason to sugarcoat or hide stuff. That's what makes it real. And as a band, that in our lyrics, that's what we want, is like real life, because that's what connects. If you're only writing about imaginary things or whatever, we want to write stuff that's real life. And so
I think it comes
yeah,
through
it just kind of, it
strongly.
goes through the whole. What's that?
I think it comes through strongly. It's often an area that listeners, people I don't even know, would cite to me as a reason why they have become such big fans.
Yeah, definitely. And we're just always in general, like I said, everything in life, just I'm a believer in telling the truth, because the truth is a lot easier to remember than any BS. And if you think about it, you know, people always make up excuses for why they're late or whatever, and half the time their excuse is lamer than whatever the truth was, and neither of them are better than the other. Like, if you're late because you didn't set your alarm, or if you're late because of traffic, does it really make a difference? Just tell the truth. And that's, you know, like, why make something up? Oh, there was bad traffic or whatever. I just always felt like, dude, your story that you made up is worse than the truth.
How do you connect that mindset, right, with the modern day demands of being in a band? And I'm talking about social media in particular, and the desire for you to have to constantly be online, putting out content and showing your true selves. Is that something you're comfortable with? And is it something you enjoy?
I personally love being honest on social media. I share about my alcohol history and sobriety and even my faith and stuff like that, which most people kind of try to keep that on the low. Like, don't talk much about your faith or politics, which I agree with to a large degree. But at the same time, it's good to be authentic and be yourself, and you don't have to push it on anybody. You just share what's happening in your life, you know. And that's kind of my perspective, and that's the angle I take. And like with God and stuff, I was like sharing what's God doing in my life without trying to come across preachy or something. And I don't do it every day, all day. It's just occasionally, because you don't want to be rubbing people wrong and stuff. But do I mind that if I did rub someone wrong? Not really. But for the sake of the band and the business and the fact that it's not all about just Grant, I try to be aware of that and respectful of that. And but otherwise, I really don't give a rat's tail about what anyone really thinks. I would post whatever I want, and I feel like the rest of us are pretty much the same way. So, but I don't get online a whole ton and post too much stuff anyway. Most of it is about the band or whatever, and so yeah.
Make the best of it as you possibly can. That is ultimately the rule of it. It's difficult, it's complex, it's constantly changing. Yeah, if you can enjoy it and get the best out of it as possible, then you're winning in this scenario.
Yeah. And I mean, we're a band that could certainly post more online. We have to like make an effort to do it because it's not something, we're just not huge about that. So we need to do better with that and make some more content for like TikTok and stuff, which we've been discussing some cool ideas for it, but that's just never been our main focus.
Do you see that then as being the biggest challenge to keep your momentum going? Because the name of Through Fire, it's well known across the world and in the industry overall, but obviously that can change and momentum needs to keep going. So would you point at being more active on social media as your biggest task / challenge?
Actually, yes, I would. That's definitely the biggest task and challenge for sure.
I'm confident you can overcome it. It isn't going to be the easiest of tasks. It'll probably change in 3 months' time when social media adapts again. But yeah, you'll do the best you can. Sticking and going back to the album, I wanted to ask you then, was there an aspect across the entire process from writing, recording, producing, whatever, that you thought or found was particularly fun? Maybe you learned something new about yourself during.
It definitely, the whole thing was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, it was for the first time super therapeutic for me. Because in the past I would sing songs based off of more past experiences, like some of the stuff we would be singing about. And in this one, I was really feeling it, like actually going through the stuff and get to go in there and sing something like Karma Kills. When you're dealing with someone bringing some things to the light and the skeletons coming out of the closet about some secrets that were held over you or whatever for years and the pain that causes. So having that fresh wound and going in there and being able to experience just screaming your heart out, you know, singing your heart out, and how good that can actually feel for that, and how much, and like you get done with the song and you're like, man, I can't wait till they hear that, you know.
Yeah.
And then just like with my development as a singer, I was a lot faster and more efficient. So it was fun to go in there and feel like a professional and knock stuff out and challenge myself to get a song done in 2 hours, 3 hours, and have all the parts, all the layers, the low octave, high octave, harmonies, whispers, anything that we add in there that, you know, you might not even notice listening to it, but we are very detailed on that, and most bands probably are. But all those things are really fun to add in there. So if you listen to it 100 times, you might finally hear a little whisper that you never noticed or something, you know. So that's always fun, all those parts. But we've always done that kind of stuff. But the faster I've gotten, the more we've been able to pay attention to those things, because if you take too long, you might have to sacrifice some of those little details just working on the leads or whatever. Like I've had that issue before. So it's nice to be able to just kill the whole song and do everything we want to do.
Is there a particular track from the album that hasn't been released yet that you are most interested to kind of hear the feedback on for whatever reason?
Absolutely. And I will share that title with you. It's Dead Winter. Be looking forward to Dead Winter. That one is, I know people are going to be like, holy crap, this is awesome. And they don't necessarily expect it from us. I hope it turns out to be a single. It's a song that has what I've been calling the most epic ending to it. It just continues to build. You think it's going to end, and it builds again, and it builds again. And it like feels like you're going into war. There's like helicopters and machine guns in my mind that I hear, you know? And it's just like, and it's kind of got the same vibe as Karma Kills in a way. It was another one of those super therapeutic ones that kind of rolled right off that feeling I was going through. So yeah, and it's one of the most epic songs we've ever done.
Is that ending up on the live set list?
It will for sure. I don't know about this tour though, but it will definitely be a part of the live set list.
Yeah, because I know the song you're talking about, and I think it's going to be incredible in the live environment.
Did you get to hear it?
Yeah, I've heard your full album. It's incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, absolutely
I didn't
loved
even
it.
know it. Right on.
Big fan here. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's just great to hear that, like as you said, not only been busy up to this point, and the album comes out, but it doesn't stop here. It continues. 2023 is looking like it's going to continue to be a busy year. Is that kind of just the overall plan idea? Is just to stay as busy as possible for the rest of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything we can do, we're going to get out there and do it. Continue to promote the albums, single after single, and definitely stay as busy as we possibly can. Come see everybody in every city. Stop at every radio station. Anything we can do. Keep fresh merchandise. The whole nine.
The UK can't wait to see you. Hopefully, if it's not this year, at least hopefully next year. That would be awesome.
I can't wait. We got to make that happen. Like, that is going to be huge. That'll be super epic.
Devil's Got You Dreaming. It's out tomorrow as the time recording. As I've said, it is a banging album and needs to be heard by everyone. Grant, thank you so much for taking the time to do this, even with the issues. We got there. I hope you have a brilliant rest of the day.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?